Good morning, everyone.
And good afternoon and good night, Rabbi Itzkowitz.
And good evening.
What was that from? Okay, so let's just do a quick recap of what we did so far. We started off with the party, Jews sin, then he kills Vashti, then he makes the beauty pageant, Esther becomes queen, Biggie and Terry plot against him, Mordechai saves the day, then Haman rises to power, Shurish rises him up to power, he makes a decree against the Jews, Mordechai hears about it, Sak v'Efer, they're dressing in sackclothes, and then they fast for 3 days, and now we're holding on the third day. Vayehi bayom hashlishi, and it was on the third day, Vatilbash Esther Malchus Atarim v'chatzar beis hamelech hapenimis. Came on the third day, Esther put on her royal dress and stood in the inner court of the king's palace. And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal palace opposite the gate of the house. When the king saw Esther, he found grace in her eyes. So he stretches out the sharbat, the scepter, the golden scepter, that was in his hands, and Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter, which was the inclination that now it's okay, now she could come into the king's palace. If the king does not lift out his scepter, and you don't touch the head of the scepter, you're a dead man. You'll not be killed by a scepter, but by specter. You saw the movie. Terrible movie. Anyway, which is a very interesting thing if you think about it, a wife going to her husband and automatically she can't go in unless he says, I want you to see her, which is, I like that idea actually. Gimel, Vayamula Malach Esther Malka. What would you like, Esther? What is your request until half the kingdom? And I will give it to you. Now, Achashverosh sees right away that she's risking her life for something. So something must be pretty important, or else Esther would not be coming. That's number one. We're holding now, this is the day of the 14th, the first day, and she goes over there. Okay, hold on a second. She says, either she's coming for herself, or she's coming on behalf of others. Says, what's your request? And what could I do for you, and what's your request? We're only going over there. Okay, let's turn the page. Esther says to him, let's go with the king. If it's go with the king should come with Haman today. Haman. No, there's when Balkari says Haman, everybody thinks you have to hear every word. So Balkari repeats Haman. There was a guy once in my shul who, when the Balkari repeated it, he kept doing Haman, and the guy's like trying to continue. He has to say Haman because no one heard Haman, and every single time he didn't let one Haman go for about 3-4 minutes. Baruch Hashem. Okay, so what's Esther doing? I'm inviting you to a party. I know you like parties, Achashverosh. I'm inviting you to a party, private quarters. Me, you, and Haman. Be there or be square. Okay. So the king says, Maras Haman. Quickly get Haman. Esther. Esther. Quickly get Haman. And Haman and Achashverosh come together and they have a party with Esther. Notice, it doesn't say anywhere where they're going to be where they eat. What is your request? What is your petition? We'll give it to you. What's your request? Up until half the kingdom. This is the second time he offers half the kingdom, by the way. Why is he offering half the kingdom? Why not the whole kingdom? I'll give you the world. Well, what do you mean half the kingdom? You know? You read the footnote? Yeah. Why half the kingdom? Because in the other half laid Jerusalem and the temple And he was afraid to relinquish control of that because the temple had already gotten permission to be rebuilt by Kairesh, and Achashverosh put a halt to it. And if he loses control and gives it to Esther, she might allow the rebuilding of the temple. And he does not want that. So he offers up to half the kingdom and he'll give it to you. Okay, sounds pretty interesting. And Esther, answers, this is my petition and request. If it finds grace with the eyes of the king, and let's go with the king. If it's good with the king, you and Haman should come tomorrow night again for another party, because I know you like parties. And then at that second party, I'll tell you exactly what I want, what my request is. V'chulu v'chulu. Okay. So Haman goes out on that day, right after the party. He is on fire. He is doing great. But when Haman sees Mordechai b'shar Melech in the gate of the king, Lord come Lord Zah. Didn't move, didn't stand, didn't stir, nothing for him. And Haman on Mordechai gets filled with anger. Now, we mentioned this. I don't know if we mentioned this yesterday. Why Mordechai did not bow down is in the footnotes. I don't know if everybody saw that Haman made himself into an avodah zarah, and so that's why he couldn't bow down. And that's where his proof was that the Jews don't listen to Achashverosh's laws, because Jews will not bow down to avodah zarah. That is one of the big three. Okay, so just think about this. He just got a private party with the king and queen. He's the top of the world. He realizes the honor that he has. But the second he steps outside and sees one guy not bowing down to him, even though he already decreed on him that I'm going to kill him, he's still going to get upset. Very interesting. Haman refrained himself. He kept himself to that. I'm going to get him one day. And when he came home, he sent and called for his friends, which this translation not so great. It's Ahavov, his loved ones, and Zeresh, his wife. What is the inclination of that? He don't love Zeresh. He didn't like his wife. I saw somewhere that he was ready to divorce her even. He had no interest in her anymore. He called all his friends, all his family, all the people he loved, and also, I guess I gotta call my wife. Haman told him the glory of the riches and multitude of his children, and all things by which the king had promoted him, and now he advanced him above the princes and servants of the king. You realize this is all happening within a day. Between Haman getting promoted, and somebody pointing out to Mordechai that he's not bowing down, and then making the decree, and the party, and the fast, all started that day, on your Gimel of Nisan. Haman, and Haman said, Esther the queen did let no man come in with the king to the banquet that she had prepared for myself. Though myself and tomorrow I'm also invited with her to the king. I got exclusive rights to the palace. The Esther, usually husband and wife, dined together, but I was invited, and I'm able to go. You know those guys that there's like a special event and they get invited and you don't, and trying to put it on their Facebooks and they're trying to show it off that I got the invitation, check it out. That's really what he's doing over here. I got exclusive rights, VIP, going on the red carpet, and E.T.'s going to be filming. Okay. So tomorrow also, and this doesn't make a difference to me. This I don't care about. This doesn't mean anything to you. What doesn't mean anything? Every time that I see Mordechai sitting at the king's gate, it stirs me. Or to quote Greenspan, I'm perturbed. I get perturbed when I see this. Perturbed. I'm the top of the line. I am the second to the king. I am dining with the king and queen. And all this doesn't mean anything because one person won't bow down to me. Okay. But Tamerloi Zeresh Ishtai says Zeresh, his wife, speaks up, and then all his loved ones. Yasser waits. Build the tree, build the gallows. Gavaya Chamishim Amma. 50 cupids high. Uvan Vaikir Emerla Melech. And in the morning told to the king. Vayitlu as Mordechai alav, and then hang Mordechai in it. Uvan Melech al Mishra Samech Vayita Vador Lefnei Melech Vayasa Eitz. And then go to the king, to the party, happy because you got rid of Mordechai tomorrow morning, but tomorrow night you'll be able to rejoice with the king and queen. And he had the gallows made. There is the Gemara that says this 50 cubits high piece of wood was from the 50, 30, 50, 300, 30, 50, 300 table. He took a piece straight out of the side of the table. Now, it was kind of interesting, I guess, carrying a 50-foot gallows from the Teva wreckage by the Arara mountain all the way to Shushan. And somebody seeing that and asking about it, I don't know, just seems interesting that he would be doing that. But he does it because he needs something 50. Now I'll point out to you, I pointed out earlier, that it said to all his loved ones and Zeresh's wife. What does it say over here? To Zeresh's wife and all his loved ones. Because she gave him the idea, she was evil plotting. He loved her now. So you see how evil this rotten guy was. And now because Zeresh gives him the idea, now I like her. Imagine, I know people like that. Parak Vav. Ba'laylahu nadda shnas hamelech. King couldn't sleep. V'yemar melech la'avi el sifrei hazechronis devrei yomim v'yu nikram lifnei hamelech. So he commanded to bring the book of Chronicles, the records, that were read before the king. Now, why couldn't he sleep? So, there are many different approaches why he couldn't sleep. One of the main ones that I found in the Gra, in a few other places, that, what's going on here? Esther's inviting Haman and me. Maybe Esther's plotting with Haman. I don't know, he doesn't know. So what does he got to do? He has to do something nice so he'll have a little more merit, a little more credit. So he looks into his books to see if he didn't pay anybody back for anything, give anybody credit for something, so he'll have a few more merits to stand up. Or he could show Esther, Haman's doing all these things, I could do also good things, anything along those lines, why he couldn't sleep. There are many other different things, I don't really want to get into it. Because son of a Seresh, and they found the writing that Mordechai told on Biggie and Terry, the two guards. They wanted to kill the king. He says, so what was done for him? What was done for Mordechai that for saving my life? What was given to him? And the people say, the Nari Melech, the little people around him, said nothing. You didn't do anything for him. Okay. And he hears noises, he hears chopping, and he hears banging, and he hears chainsaws, even though the chainsaws wouldn't be invented for 3,000 years. 2,000 years, and 2,000 years, 3,000 years? 3,300. Yeah, about 33, 3,400 more. 3,600 years probably. So he sees all this noise building outside, and he hears it coming from his courtyard. Sayyid Melech, mi b'chatzer. Who is in the courtyard? V'haman balach chatzar beis hamelech achitzayna. Haman had come into the outward court of the king's palace. Leimar la melech l'tlaizes Mordechai leitz ha'shayich lai. To speak to the king to hang Mordechai on the gallows that he prepared for him. You know what they say, timing is everything in this business, right? He's planning on building a gallows to hang Mordechai and inform the king on in the morning. And the king is planning to do something amazing and appreciative for Mordechai. Timing is everything. And the king's servant said, behold. Whoever uses a behold. I can't stand these translations, behold. Who's there? Behold, it is I. Haman stands in the court, and the king said, let him come in. Yavai. Vayavai. No, that was a Yom Ram. I can't do it offhand. I need the pasuk for. No, I can't get the truck now. It's too early in the morning. Okay. And Haman comes, and the king says, what should be done with the king, to who the king wishes to honor? This is how you know that Haman was a Chassidish. Because in every Chassidish story, there's one guy in a room talking to himself, and we know the entire story. Right? Haman says in his heart, who would the king want to give honor to more than me? Now, I would stop and think, and he already gave me all this honor by making me second to the king and dining with him and his wife, and he's asking my opinion. So why would I think he's talking about me? That just shows his ego. How egotistical as if no one else can compare to him. I got the thing. The perfect thing that you should do for the thing that the king wishes to honor. Bring the royal garments, the royal clothing that the king wears. And the horse that he rides on it. Sus. Not me sus, like sus. Sus is a horse. And I knew a guy who was sitting and learning by himself. And the Menal came over to him and said, learning by yourself? This is Gemara. Ay chavrusa, ay misusa. Do you know what that means? And the guy says, yeah, of course, either a chavrusa or a horse. Misusa in Aramaic actually means death. But okay. He brings a horse that the king rides on Ashnita and Ketzer Malchus B'Reishai. And the crown royal, which is set upon his head. And Haman continues his description of what should be done. And you shall give it to the king's servants. And he repeats again to the king, to the man that the king wishes to honor. Kibul al sus, and he shall ride on the horse. The streets of the city and should be called before them. Kacha yesela ish asher malchavetz b'karai. This is what's done to the king. This is what's done to the man that the king wishes to honor. Kacha yesela ish asher malchavetz b'karai. So Haman didn't realize what he just did. It's the first time I think he put his foot in his mouth. And the king said to Haman, Maher, quickly, kach es lavosh vasasos kasher dibarta. Grab the clothing and the horse, just like you said. Vasai kain leMordechai HaYehudi Hayosh b'shar Melech, and do that. You do that to Mordechai HaYehudi, Mordechai the Jew. Hayosh b'shar HaMelech. That sits at the king's gate. Al tapel davar mikoil asher dibarta. Do not leave anything out from everything that you said. Every detail that you described, you have to do. Okay? So what is he supposed to do now? He just gave this king the Eitzah. The king got to do it. And the king's making him do it. Okay, as Mordechai, someone takes the clothing and the horse and dresses on Mordechai. We'll see what that means in a second. Kacha yeselish asher hamelech chavetz b'karai. And he's leading the horse with Mordechai on top of it, wearing the royal garment and the crown. And he says, Kacha yeselish, this shall be done to the man who the king wishes to honor. Now, if you remember, Mordechai was in a state of mourning. He didn't have anything, and he was probably not smelling great, and he probably needed a haircut as well. Haman, before he was appointed, listen, everybody before they hit their, their wanted position, their optimal situation, he was a barber. So he knew how to cut hair. So he had to cut Mordechai's hair, and he had to bathe him, and he had to clean him up, and he had to make him look presentable. It's a kind of degrading job, even in Persian times. Fine. And after this whole procession, there's actually in Flatbush, I don't know if they do it here also, I have no idea because I go to Flatbush. But every Purim they do like a fundraiser and they have a guy riding around Flatbush on a horse, screaming out, and this guy leading it, screaming out, and there's a guy on top of the horse with the royal clothing on it, and it's surrounded by 14 police cars, Baruch Hashem, and all the kids run into it, and they say, don't stand behind the horse. Anyway, no, I'm kidding, that's a cow, don't stand behind the cow. But that's exciting. Did they do it here in Baruch last year? Did they do it here in Shleim? You never saw a horse? I'll tell you, when I was in 11th grade.
I had a donkey.
Shkai, donkey. That'll be the sign of Mashiach, when Gil come in on a donkey. Yeah?
That's what happened.
I'm saying, but that he was just showing what Mashiach's going to look like. When I was in 11th grade, kids, drink responsibly. But I was in 11th grade and I was not drinking responsibly. And I got pretty wasted. And I went to one Rebbe's house. I can't say what happened there for legal reasons. But then I left that house and I started to walk to my other Rebbe's house, And my yeshiva was in the middle of the walk. So I stopped into the yeshiva building to go use the bathroom. Now, keep in mind, I am blackout drunk over here. I had to get all the pieces. You know, like the episode where you had to figure out all the pieces of what happened in the story to figure out what he did when he was drunk? You know what I'm talking about, Shagets. What do you know what I'm talking about? It's Usher. Anyway, so I stopped in there, and now there's a family that rents out my yeshiva's shul, the Beis Medrash, for their own family minyan. And what they did was, they raffled off prizes for the kids who sat through Megillah. But they didn't want to carry their prizes around the whole day, so they left them in the shul, and they were going to come pick them up afterwards. So you finish with the basic kisei, bathroom, and I come into the Beis Medrash, and I see this huge, I was with two friends of mine, also pretty much God, we see this huge 5-foot stuffed blue horse. And we decide, we don't have any Mishlat Manos for the Rebbe, so maybe we'll just bring him a present, this stuffed blue horse. No one thought of where it came from, where it was God. And that was also the year when it was snowing 2 feet in New York. And my rabbi lived 6 blocks away from the yeshiva. So us three were carrying this blue horse through the snow. I'm actually swimming through the snow. One of the guys who was a little more sober than me, as my parents don't know this, I hope they don't watch this, but a little more sober than me, literally, I was on my stomach across Ocean Parkway, which is the main street in Brooklyn, to back it over to his house. And we get into his house, and me in a complete drunk state, says to Rebbe, Rebbe, I offered the horse something to eat, but he told me he was stuffed. To think of that, when you're slam drunk, I give myself a lot of credit. I didn't even know this whole story until I came to his house the next day to apologize for throwing up on his floor and shoes, and I see this huge blue horse sitting on his front lawn. Baruch Hashem, Purim, it's a gewaldige day. Vayoshev Mordechai el Shar HaMelech. Mordechai, after this whole procession, Mordechai turns to the gate of the king. Haman nidchaf el Beisai, and Haman hurries to his house. Avel v'chav harosh. Now, why is Haman hurrying to his house? Because he got to get ready for the party. But he's filthy. Why is he filthy? So, the story goes like this. Haman had a daughter, believe it or not. And she hears that there's a procession going on in the city. One guy leading another guy. So she knows there's this feud going on, because last night she overheard her parents plotting on killing Mordechai. And maybe this is the last thing that they revise them, they embarrass them before they kill them. I don't know. She knows there's a feud going on. There's the most honorable people in the city. So it must be Haman, my dad, is on the horse. And it must be Mordechai is leading it. Because which is more honorable, to lead a horse or ride the horse? Ride the horse. Just don't stand behind the horse. Ever. No, I'm serious. I once went horseback riding, and they told us not to stand up and don't do anything crazy. And I can't say what I did. Anyway, so she thinks there was a skit where the German Coast Guard, and it says, Mayday, Mayday, we're sinking. Hello, this is the German Coast Guard. Mayday, Mayday, we're sinking. What are you thinking about? Yeah? So she's thinking to herself, it must be Haman's on the horse, my dad's on the horse, and Mordechai's leading it. So she has a great plan, because this can never fail. She goes, empties out the waste from the outhouse, and she puts it in a bucket, in a pile? Oh, what's it called? A pail. Bucket, fine. Whatever's on your bucket list. Anyway, she goes up to her roof, and as the procession's passing by their quarters, she dumps it on the guy leading it. That's kind of disgusting. If you ever saw Back to the Future when they get poured on manure, every time I see that I just get nauseous. Just imagine that just not dry. And he's kind of disgusting. And he's awful. He's his head covered. He looks like he's mourning. He looks like he's disgusting. And again, he says to his wife and all his loved ones, he says, Haman told Zeresh's wife and to all his friends everything that had befallen him. They said that his wise men and Zeresh's wife to him, if Mordechai, before whom you have begun to fall, is the seed of the Jews, you shall not prevail against him, but surely fall before him. They're basically warning him by now. And while they were talking with him, came the king's servants and hurried to bring Haman to the banquet that Esther had prepared. Now, let's just put this in the context. He has to show up to the second night of partying. He is filthy. He's in the middle of talking to his family, but when the queen says to make a party, you got to be at the party. You got to go. Now, why also was Achashverosh very adamant about this party? Because she said, I'm going to reveal what I want. Now, Achashverosh is thinking, she risked her life to come speak to me. And even then, she didn't tell me what she wanted. And then I went to dine with her. And Haman, just like she requested. And she still didn't tell me what she wants. And she told me tomorrow. Because if she doesn't tell me tonight, tonight, then I'm done. 3 strikes and you're? No, because we play softball and you get as many strikes as you want until you hit. Don't you know, the game is fair and we don't even keep score. Because it's fair, people might feel bad that you scored and they didn't. Stupidity in 2019. No! You hit the ball, you strike out. That's it. Either you hit or you strike. You're done. I don't understand this, Mr. Gaston. Get as many pitches as you want until you hit. What's it? The kid might feel bad. That'll be good for him. Playing for fun. No, you're not. Fun is winning. And that's why I play volleyball. Anyway, not only that, so he needed to know what's going on. Also, she told him, I'm going to reveal it to you. Reveal what? I'm going to reveal who I really am. She's setting the stage. She's setting the climax. Now let's put everything in so far. We know what's going to happen next, right? No. The Jews sin. And then the whole thing happens with Avashi, and then they hear about this decree, and they say, oh no, Hashem abandoned us. Hashem's not here with us. When they were exiled originally, they went to Yecheskel Navi and says, if a man divorces his wife, is he still obligated to serve them, help them? And he said no. Says, so Hashem divorced us, and we still commanded to serve God. And he said, yes, because God didn't abandon you, but they felt pretty abandoned. And then this decree comes out in the Purim story, and they said, we're done. God has completely left us. But one second, no, guys, we know Esther's Jewish. Esther is still the queen, and so we have somebody on her side. But now, what's Esther doing? She's inviting Haman and Mordechai to a private banquet. We lost her too. So the Jews are not in such a good state right now. And this is the end of the build-up, which we'll see tomorrow will be... What? Tomorrow will be the actual build-up and over the hill, over the mountain. But this is really all these events. Now, why did Mordechai have to be led around on this horse? To the significance of the plays of the story. Why did Mordechai have to be led around? Everybody think of that? Okay, so Esther's writes Haman, and then she reveals to Ahasuerus who she is and gets Haman killed. Why does Mordechai have to do it? It's a good question, huh? Yeah? Yes? Thank you, Mayor. I just thought of it right now, actually. But I think the answer is, the whole story is going to be a story of Vinahapachu. So right away we needed to start reversing the honor of Haman. Haman got the honor, but when Esav's up, Yaakov will be down. When Yaakov's up, Esav will be down. Haman got the honor. We need to start balancing it out in order to have a full comeback or a full victory. So it starts with that. There are many other things why he's dressing in kingship clothing, because he's called Yehudi, why all these things. It's fascinating. But tomorrow in Mirza Hashem, we're going to get to the high point of the story. what's today? Today's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we're going to do a little bit of the Bible codes with the 10 sons of Haman. Which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, nice.
Tafshin Zion. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel below. If you like this and other, also, no, hold on a second.
No.
If you like this and other videos, subscribe to the channel below. Thank you for watching. You should be benched.
Right.